Jodi Balfour. Welcome to General Meeting with Becky Sloviter.
Oh, what a thrill. What an honor.
I am so delighted you're here. You are one of my very favorite people that I have ever collaborated with.
Didn't even know where that sentence was going to end. I got so excited.
What's she about to say? But also, I find just talking to you to be like a soothing experience.
Oh my God.
I was also really excited because many of the people that I've had on the podcast so far, I've met in general meetings. But you and I did not meet in a general meeting.
We sure did not.
We met on a project.
I was thinking about that on the way over here, that truly you really, for me, mark the beginning of feeling like I had not the right to, because what does that even mean? But feeling like I could call myself a filmmaker. Like you really opened that door for me in like an energetic, spiritual belief in self way. So this is like, you're one of the most important people to me in my like creative journey. And it all starts with said project.
A, thank you for the compliment. B, it's an honor. Your partner in this project, Jessie Hodges. Jessie is amazing. Now she's her manager, Danielle Schoenberg, but she was her agent at the time. She reached out, told me about this project, and sort of set the table for, you know, it's on the smaller side. Great. I open the cover page and there is a quote from the great Mike Nichols.
It sure was.
And I literally almost like threw my iPad across the room like, God damn it, I love this already. Like, I don't know what this is even about, but I love it already. But again, Danielle had sort of managed my expectations that it was on the smaller side.
Can I ask you, is that what I often wonder about this from like, you know, the holistic thing of the word, like when you say small and you hear it's on the smaller side and you understand what that means from an agent, what is that? Because does that translate to very indie because of what we were wanting to do? Does it literally mean budget size?
So it means all of that, but the sort of implication, and I think what Danielle was saying and what
Hard
I
to
would
make.
still just, well, that, but intimate, grounded people in rooms talking.
Right.
That's sort of my
not
shorthand.
like super high concept.
There's no special effects. There's no
right,
stunts.
right.
The emotional intimacy of this movie, the concept of it, which we'll get to in a moment, just all of it, it's my favorite kind of movie, right?
Yeah.
It is. And so I think, yes, the indie nature of it, but also just seeing what, you know, most studios these days, it's like, what's the franchise? What is the huge IP?
Totally.
It's not clearly what studios are wanting, but it's also just going to take a thoughtful approach in how to get it made.
Right.
Which so many things do, but so many things can also be like, we attach this person, we're going to go shop it. Totally. It's either going to get set up or not based on their attachment, right?
Yes.
So this was not that. Tell us if you would, because I will always bungle a log line or
oh my
here's
God,
what the
as
movie's
will
about.
I.
Matt is so good at that. I'm like, well, so you meet this girl and like, you'd think after all this time I'd be better. I'm not.
I know. I'm like, I can talk about themes ad nauseum, but don't make me elevator pitch you a single sentence. It's called Jane Right Now. And it
so you meet this girl.
Open on Jane in New York City. It is a sort of, it's an homage to late in life self-discovery, really, and like never-ending self-discovery, which is something I'm very interested in as an artist in general, like self-knowledge and thinking about how we want to live. I think is probably going to be what I make work about forever. I mean, I'm not alone, obviously. It's quite a broad interest. But so, yes, it's about a woman called Jane who you meet her as she is urgently ending a long-term relationship with her boyfriend that was sort of on track to get married. They were on track to get married and they share a dog together. And this dilemma of sharing their beloved dog requires something to be figured out. Like her ex is really heartbroken and there's a lot of tension and conflict. And she, one night out drunk with her friends in Brooklyn, comes to the realization that he needs to fall in love with someone else in order for them to be at peace and share this dog. So she goes looking for someone for Sam to fall in love with. And she, of course, in a typical rom-com fashion, finds someone for herself to fall in love with. And yeah, it's so on the surface, it's like your sort of classic rom-com, but it has those like thematic elements of self-knowledge and self-discovery at its core.
Well, exactly. And as I kept reading, I was like, this is actually quite a commercial premise at its core, and a deeply relatable one. You're with someone for many years, you have a dog. Well, we know how we feel about our dogs.
We're dog people.
We are dog people. And, a breakup is hard enough.
Many people have opinions on this is incredibly inspired by my own lived experience. And I remember when I was going through a similar situation, some people thought I was absolutely nuts to be feeling so passionate about this. And, like with some distance from it now, I also think like the role that attachment plays in all of that, not only to the animal, but to the other person, especially after a really long-term relationship. There's this thing, this one good thing between the two of you that means something to you.
One good thing. I feel like that might have been, was that an alt title we were
I'm
talking
sure
about?
It was. I'm sure it was. I know, what a good thing. Listen.
Exactly.
Come back around.
Exactly. So I come on board. It's really just, it was one of the more fruitful, creatively satisfying collaborations I've ever been a part of.
Oh, that's so nice.
You and Jesse together is just, that's magic. But also, and I find this is what kills me about how hard it is to get anything made in this town these days.
Yep.
I know, and include you both in this, such smart, hardworking, talented creators, filmmakers, artists who are working so hard to just get a chance and just get a little bit of money to make their thing. And then here's, countless millions of dollars being flushed down the toilet on like soulless garbage.
Yeah.
And it's like, where's the happy medium? It's painful.
Doesn't seem to exist. I really thought, you remember when Cord Jefferson got up at the Oscars and said his like beautiful, rousing speech about like the $10 million films and how let's just make $10 million films rather than the $100 million one.
Yep.
I was like, change is coming.
Exactly.
No, not yet anyway.
To close the loop here, I was like, I have to meet them because I just loved every word of it. We all meet, we all fall in love. It's a great creative collaboration. We work to start putting it together, basically.
Yeah.
You and Jesse are going to co-direct.
Yes.
You are starring. Jesse is in it as well. We're talking about other actors to attach before going out to get financing, as you do on smaller movies.
Yes.
I then go to Miramax and I have to,
We cry so much.
It was a real bummer to reach out to all of the people that I was working with at the time, truly, because what was so cool about having my own company at that point was I wasn't taking on anything that I didn't love, or at least really, really like and think I could get made and think I was additive as a producer too.
Well, and to know, like, as I'm learning very quickly in the few years that I've been trying to make movies for, is that like you have to love this thing so much that it's going to be the huge backpack on your back as you climb the mountain for the next like 3 years if you're lucky.
Yes, exactly. 3 years is a conservative estimate.
You have to love it that much.
As you're climbing up that with the boulder in the backpack and you're like, my back hurts. I just want to fucking drop this thing.
Yes.
Like, no, I'm going to keep going. Yeah. And you're so I was bummed to call all the people I was working with. I was really bummed to call you and Jesse. And you were so cool about it. And so I had to step off.
How could you not? Jump
you.
At that. Yeah. We were so happy for you as well.
Thank you, because you are the menchiest people in the world. Then you've continued putting it together.
Yeah, we're close on financing, whatever that means, as we all know. It's the most like sand through your fingers experience of
it really
time.
Is. And to anyone going through it, I would just say, keep going and have the healthy perspective of it is a long journey and a long and winding road for every single movie you've ever seen come on your screen.
Yes.
It truly is. It is never a quick, easy path. But I do believe something as good as this, and with the cast that you've attached, you'll be on set soon.
Thank you, Becky.
Oh, I'm so excited for you.
Before, I know we can move on from this subject matter, but before we do, I want to say that, like, for anybody that's listening that is more also like me, sort of coming into this space of trying to make things yourself, the way when we met with you for that first time to talk about the script and your interest in it, I will never forget the feeling you offered us of like how much you got it and supported it and loved it. Like we did a page turn of the script of like the pages that you loved and the lines that you loved the most. Like to know that you have a collaborator and someone like you who has so much experience, and we were really like aware that like you were the adult in the room to like get the vision, to love the project, and to like support our wackadoodle version of it where we're like, we're gonna star and co-direct. That's normal, right? And to just be like, yes, here we go. Like that. That is what I wish for anybody setting out to try to make something.
That means so much, especially coming from you guys. And the feeling was so mutual because it was the easiest thing. Like, this business in many ways really sucks. It's a grind. And I don't say that like, don't feel bad for the movie producer, right? Like, it's real.
No, but maybe feel bad for the movie producer a little bit these days.
As I dramatically say to all of my, Gen X peers, like, this is not the business we got into.
No.
And so my favorite part of any job I've ever had, which I've said on almost every episode now, is the general meeting, which is how I came up with the idea for this podcast. Because as I was leaving Miramax, I was like, you know what? The only thing I always loved was just connecting one-on-one with people and with artists, really. Yeah. There's just nothing like it. I love it. My second favorite thing is reading something I love and making my note. I used to print out a script and write in the margins. Now I'll make comments on my iPad. But I was like, okay, and now page 41, when Cynthia says this, Cynthia. And to have that on the other side from you guys, really like, not just appreciative of that, but also like, we all just want to feel seen, right?
Yeah.
You guys poured yourselves into that script.
We did. It's so personal.
But starting with that Mike Nichols quote, God damn. I mean, Working Girl is my second favorite movie of all time. And
that
Mike
final
Nichols,
shot, I will think about that forever. When he pulls out from the window and she's in
Do I know? Sin, guess where I am? I literally, when I started at Miramax, I set out my new contact info, and I put the picture of Melanie Griffith, and I put, Sin, guess where I am? Below, you can find my contact information at Miramax. Thank you so much. Mike Nichols. I mean, what a special filmmaker.
The greatest.
And it was like you calling your shot. It was like my Jake Taylor. I don't know. Do you know this movie? You might be too young.
I'm also too
And you
South
grew up
African.
in South Africa, and we're going to get to that. So this is Tom Berenger in Major League as Jake Taylor.
No, never
and
seen
this
it.
is him at the end of the movie calling his shot. And this is, I made this for Adam Sheffield, the director of Let's Have Kids. And then I had to make one for myself because we would just always reference that.
Am I just going to start doing that now?
By the way, you're going to have to go watch this movie.
Oh, yeah.
For anyone listening to this who also loves Major League to the degree that many of us do, it's a perfect film. And the music that is playing at the end of the movie, this is like the climactic. Oh my God, it's incredible.
Music.
So,
movie music.
But you guys, by putting the Mike Nichols quote on that first page, you're calling your shot. Jake Taylor style. Okay, let's get to, because again, we didn't mean in general, so I never got to go super deep on you in terms of your biography.
Oh God.
Born and raised for the most part in South Africa?
Yes, I was 23 when I left.
And went to Canada.
Went to Vancouver, sort of by way, very briefly, of Vancouver Island, where my parents had immigrated.
Okay.
So I went to a theatre school in South Africa. So it was really when I graduated college.
Okay, but so had your whole upbringing in South Africa?
Well, yes, there was a very brief stint in England when I was like 11, but it was short-lived.
What a great time to be taken from your natural habitat.
So yanked at the ripe old age of 11 just to thrown into a drastically different culture and then changed my mind back to South Africa. Wasn't traumatic at all.
No, I'm sure not. Not unpacking that for the rest of our lives. Okay, so did you always know that you were an artist in some way, that you wanted to be an actor?
Yes, in a way that actually now in my old age, I'm like, how beautiful is that / how like, is there a part of me that also mourns that I loved it so much that I kind of closed a lot of other doors. Yes, it was live performance for me. Like I was remembering something.
Wow.
Like age 6.
Wow.
Like undeniable. My mum took me to the ballet, and there was obviously ballet dancers on stage, but an open orchestra pit as well.
Oh.
And as I don't know how common that, it's definitely still a thing, but like not super common anymore. Certainly not in South Africa. Sadly, our symphony kind of dissolved. But I will never forget looking over the little railing at the orchestra pit and being like wowed by the instruments, and then sitting there like truly whatever the edge of the seat is for the duration of the ballet. And it was after that I was just like, I started playing instruments, I went to ballet, and then that weirdly segued into every kind of live performance there was.
Yes.
I truly was like a kid who did absolute, like, my plate was very full, as my parents would always say, sort of in a cautionary way.
And were they very supportive?
Incredibly.
That's so great.
Which is bananas when I think about it too. They are a doctor and a nurse, and we lived in Cape Town, South Africa. Like, the minute they understood that I was unrelentingly dedicated to this as eventually a career, I am so flabbergasted that they weren't like, that's not a thing
We're
that
gonna
you
have
can
a fall
do.
back to.
Yeah.
Well, on some level, I mean, it speaks to that's just great parenting and good for them for being so supportive, but also you clearly had talent and they could see that.
Yeah, I think so.
I would say so.
I mean,
considering how it's all come together, I would say so.
I think so. Yeah. But, as we know all too well, that's not a guarantee of anything.
I will always bring everything back to how crazy the business is right now.
Oh my God. Please, we all need like healing circles.
It's so true. We're all struggling a bit right now. And that's in all ways, even if we are fortunate enough. And I'm going to weave this back into the live performance piece. Was this the first time you did a play?
It was.
Okay, tell me about the experience. I was so bummed I couldn't get to New York this summer to see you.
So as I mentioned briefly, I trained on the stage. So all that dancing became a lot more focused on acting. And then I went to the drama school of UCT, which is the University of Cape Town, kind of like South Africa's most prestigious like text-based 4-year conservatory program. And I spent so much time on the stage growing up, and then promptly moved to Vancouver, got an aid. Well, I booked a job as I was graduating that was a BBC miniseries that shot in Cape Town. And I really loved working on camera, and it was shot on film. It was kind of like a ridiculous first job. And I got to Vancouver, and I was, I had had some credits, and one of them was a BBC miniseries credit, which at the time meant a lot to Canadian agent.
Yeah.
And I went from essentially being a theater actor to, within the first 2 years of being in Canada, only working in television and film, and then moved to Toronto for a show, and then from there to LA, and never really looked back. I think about it now because I was just in New York for 3 months doing a play at the Atlantic Theatre Company, which was one of the highlights of my artistic life.
It was called Low Country?
It was called Low Country by playwright Abby Rosebrock, who is an incredible Brooklyn-based playwright. Socialist rom-com is how she bills it.
I love that.
You go in thinking you're going to watch a couple people have a sort of debaucherous date, and you spend 90 minutes thinking about the punishment system in this country, the prison industrial complex, racism, fascism, the digital age we all live in, and trying to find connections with other human beings. It packs a punch. But yeah, all to say, I hadn't been on the stage since I graduated.
That's wild. And was it not just like the feeling of coming home, but a feeling of like you almost catch the bug again, like as that girl who's on the edge of the seat when she's 6 years old, right?
Yes.
Like, are you dying to get back to the stage again?
If Abby was here, she would be laughing at me. No, because truly towards the end of the run, and it was a short run, the whole process, we had 5 weeks of rehearsal, 6 weeks of shows, but 8 shows a week. And as I mentioned, 90 minutes. I'm on stage for 75, but 75 minutes of 2 of us on stage nonstop talking. Spoiler alert to anyone that wants to read the play, sorry. I eat a bowl of pasta. I drink multiple glasses of wine. I smoke a joint. I fall on my ass. We have sex. And then, major spoiler alert, I kill somebody at the end.
Holy shit.
It was an undertaking.
And that is 8 shows a week.
At 8 shows a week.
Oh my God.
Like lightning speed. Like it is talk, like Sorkin-esque talky, interrupt in sentences. That's how I did it too.
Yeah.
And it was like a level of athleticism that has not been asked of me in a long time. And so by the end of the run, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I felt like I didn't have my skin. I felt like a raw. I was so sensitive. I was so more exhausted than I can ever remember being because of work.
It's in your bones exhaustion at that point.
Like the most satisfying, if not the most satisfying experience as an actress I have ever had. And the joke is, why I giggled at first when you're like, are you dying to do it again? Is that if you had asked me that on July 10th, I would have said, not for the next 2 years.
I will never do it.
Truly.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, tomorrow? Anyone?
When? I'm available. Yes.
Like,
I bet.
I am so excited to do it again.
Can I say I'm a little stuck on had to eat a bowl of pasta?
Thank you. One time I had to eat a bowl of pasta with a spoon because the forks were not set. And so my poor co-star panicked and found spoons. So we ate pasta with spoons.
And you figured it out. Just like 2 spoons doing the...
Not even, just one. Just one spoon.
I mean, Jodi Balfour, you are a woman of many talents, but that, I can't... if I even see my kids trying to eat pasta just with a fork and not with the spoon that you do to make the big twirl and like put it...
No.
I'm like, you're animals. What are you doing? So how you even pulled that off, I'll never know. But it's amazing. And then I imagine the exhilaration and adrenaline rush of having pulled it off that night just kept going.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't miss a line.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's so great.
It's a wild feat, theater in general. But it's also, it was, as someone who's trying to make movies now, it was really extraordinary to be inside of the theater journey from like sort of day one of rehearsals to seeing the play mounted, because it's in my experience, in this one experience I've had recently, it was so inclusive. Like the actors are privy to so many production meetings, at least initially, like
as it should be.
You're
right?
hearing the set designer talk about why they're doing what they're doing, the lighting designer, the costume designer, and it makes you feel like you're all this, which you are, collaborative artistic team,
exactly,
working towards realizing one vision together. Exactly. I find in TV and film, I'm like, why are we so siloed as actors? I really don't. If I get to keep making film, I've only made one teeny weeny film, but on my short, I was like determined, and it was, an invitation, not a demand of the actors, but I really was determined to be like, what do you want to know? Yes. I want to share all of it with you. You can come to these meetings if you want. You can, we're doing this together.
The inclusiveness piece, and of course that's your instinct, and I love hearing this so much, and that Low Country really cemented for you the kind of director I knew you would be anyway, but really the collaborative, inclusive experience where no one is siloed. That was exactly the word I was going to use. But also everyone is also valued. So whether that is the word you're using when, or it is just implied because, please join that meeting.
Yeah.
Rather than, this doesn't involve you, we'll let you know. It's wild how often it's not the case. It should be the rule, not the exception. I find it's the opposite. It's the exception.
It comes from a place of like not wanting to, quote, waste or use the actor's time. But I'm like,
yes. And I mean, again, I'm just like a little burned, but I think a lot of it's ego. A lot of it is the power structure of this doesn't concern you. The adults are talking.
Sorry, but it feels like patriarchy.
Oh, it sure does. Not to bring it all back, but hey, if the shoe fits.
Yeah. There's not even one person, and it's not fair to just like blame the men, but it is like you can blame the system.
Absolutely.
And the system has been co-created and co-signed and enabled for a really long time.
And continues to be.
But Jessie and I were actually talking about this in terms of like, we're about to co-direct something together, and the like looking for models that are not that. That are not this sort of like male auteur driven, leave the crazy genius alone and nobody come to them with any ideas.
Exactly.
Or like
the
it's one person's vision,
Well, exactly.
I really believe there are plenty of examples of incredible and movies that have gone on to have great success that were directed by 2 people.
Yes.
But more than that, like, we are 2 women. We are going to be acting in it too. We are first-time filmmakers at this level. And it's like we get to invent what that looks like.
Yes.
Because if you can't find the model, like, you create it for yourself. And just because there isn't precedent doesn't mean something can't work.
100%. And I'm so glad you're bringing this up because I think this highlights whether you work in this business or any business, and especially I think for younger people coming up, the importance of a model of, well, that person can do it. You know, it's an Oprah thing. I'll just quote Oprah every day, all day.
Please.
But like, if you can see it, you can believe it.
Yes.
Let's talk for a brief moment, if we could. I think when I first became aware of you, as did the rest of the planet, was when you were playing Jackie O on The Crown.
Oof. My stomach like does a flip. Just
Well, I
thinking about it.
imagine, we've actually never talked about this. I imagine that is like heavy as the head that wears the crown, literally.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
But, I mean, you get that part. Is that a moment of not just like pinch me, but like many people have played this part. She is an icon, beyond icon. The Crown is one of the biggest shows in the world.
Yes. She's an American hero.
She sure is.
Yeah. And to add, not insult to injury, it was all just a blessing. And the most, and talk about like up there with one of my most sort of satisfying creative experiences, in part because it was so scary and challenging. I was a mega fan at the time.
Totally.
In fact, I was finishing the final episode of season 1 in a bed on a laptop when an email notification popped up on the top screen right that said, "Can you fly?" I saw how reps in this town, like the email is like one sentence and it's sometimes half the subject and then it finishes the sentence in the email. Like, "Can you fly to New York to meet Stephen Daldry?" I was on Vancouver Island about as far away on this continent as you could be from two poles.
Yes.
And I flew the next day. It was like a 24-hour trip.
Yep.
Right before Christmas. I flew to New York. At the time, hadn't spent much time there. So, and was like walking from my hotel through the cobbled streets of Soho to at the time
wrapped up tight in winter and
to this little apartment in Soho as well, like coolest place to have a meeting with the director. Walked up, he made me an espresso, he chain smoked while we like read very casually some pages and talked about Jackie, and in that meeting he was like, "Well, we have to see we have to make sure Netflix is okay, but I'd love you to do it." In the meeting,
which we should say never happens.
Doesn't happen.
So rarely.
Certainly in my experience.
I was going to say, especially as you're coming up. Like, of course that happens as you get to a certain level, but this is really, you'd been a working actor, but you hadn't had something on that level yet.
No, yeah.
So holy shit. So you're holding your breath. And also, where do you find, because I'm always curious about this. I am not an actor, obviously, but I certainly have plenty of times where like something exciting is there's a potential of it, but you don't know if it's actually going to happen. I have trouble with that. As an actor,
it's constant.
Are you holding it's like we can be both, as I tell my kids, right? It can be both. Are you holding the space for, oh my God, I might get this. This might really happen and I want to be positive and believe. But also, this could totally go away.
1,000%.
How are you holding
dance
that?
Yeah, I don't know. And then like, the other voice that pops into my head is like, you believe it because people say that manifesting is a thing, so just believe it. And then there's the other part of me that's like, you can't plan your life around this. So I tentatively get the job. I get on a plane to go back to Canada, and by the time I land, it's Christmas Eve, and I get the call saying
oh my God. So thank God. I was going to say, how long were you in purgatory for?
Stephen Daldry, I think Netflix is like, whatever you want, Stephen. And then shortly after, I begin prep because the prep was extensive. I learned French. I had an incredible French.
Did not speak French ahead of
No. I think I'd taken some classes.
You're so good.
But by the way, kudos to like really do credit to this production and that like the attention to detail. That French I spent 3 weeks coaching on, as well with a different coach, Laurence Winkler, his name is from William Conacher, who was my Jackie dialect sound coach, who was at that time coaching everybody on The Crown.
Yep.
He's one of the greats in the world. So I was like dialect, French, research on Jackie with a whole research team that The Crown offers to you.
Oh, I love this. I love knowing this.
And so the French is a funny one in particular because like that level of detail. And we then flew. So I was also over there for 6 weeks to do one episode. which I think it was a very hefty episode, but I think we were in
That's
like
what I was gonna say.
4 different locations, including Budapest, for 3 days to shoot what became a like 30-second intercut flashback memory in the apology scene where Jackie goes back to the Queen to apologize.
Yes.
We went and shot for 3 days, and that's where I spoke French.
Okay. We should also say most people have seen The Crown at this point. It is a very hefty episode, and the French part of it. So it is, I haven't watched it in a long time, but it is very famously, and I'm going to butcher this probably, but
We'll butcher it together.
JFK says, I am the man who accompanied Jacqueline Kennedy to Paris.
Yes.
And that is because her French is so good.
Yes.
And she is so beautiful and charming and so Jackie that she's already taken the world by storm, but the icon status gets even further cemented.
Yeah.
And then there's that
I mean,
famous
she lived
quote.
there, she studied there, so she was very at home there, I think, in
Yes.
some ways.
So there's intimidating factors coming into this, to say the least. But
I mean, on my first day, we were in Clarence House on the mall, overlook, like I could see Buckingham Palace through the window, and it's just me and Claire Foy all day. And when I said mega fan, I mean, like, I'm not a fan of a lot of things. Like, I sometimes worry about myself. I'm like, are you okay?
it's funny, you're not the first person to sit here and say
Really?
that. Yes, and I am like a psychotic fan.
I know,
of
and I
everything.
love I'm like, God, what musician do I want to like line up to get tickets for? Like nobody. I'm so sorry. Of her and of the show, I was
Claire Foy is second to none.
I was managing a panic attack that day. I
Yep.
think probably.
Well, that's what, again, I always admire so much about actors, because you will hear stories like this a lot, but you betray not 1 ounce of that on screen.
Well, just use it. Like all I can do is use it at this point.
Exactly.
Jackie's probably really nervous too. She's meeting the Queen.
Yes. Yes.
So what am I going to do? Like I'm a professional, and I wasn't like
Well,
a
exactly.
mess,
And
but
you rose to the occasion and then some. I mean, it's incredible. What
it was
you do
so
there.
fun.
So that was really when I first became sort of aware of you. And then was For All Mankind right after that?
Was it?
Or was Ted Lasso right after that?
No, For Mankind was after it. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Wow. You know my
And that-
chronology better than I do.
I did a little bit of prep. Not too much. Don't give me too much credit. Ted Lasso's then after that?
Yes.
That was a really exciting time. I didn't know anything about what your character was going to be. I was so excited that you were going to be on it. And
was I doing that when we met? No, I was in Ireland. I was in Ireland.
Yes, you were doing.
I was somewhere.
Freud's Last Session.
Yes.
with Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Yes.
No big deal.
Yeah.
So, and then was the inspiration or the desire to write Jane Right Now with Jesse and collaborate in that way kind of coming off of you're really working in great spaces and with great artists, but you're wanting to hatch it yourself. Is that sort of where it came from?
I think so. I mean, I'm not even so sure if when I came to Jessie with the idea. I had the idea, and I had recently read her screenplay that she had written that was very much inspired by her upbringing, and loved it so much. And we've been friends for so long, like 14 years.
She's such a special person.
She
Let's just
is.
shout out. Hi,
She is.
Jessie. Hi,
She
Jessie
is.
Hodges.
That brain,
I
one of
love
my
ya.
favorites.
It's true.
And I don't think at that point we had really even identified the goal being that we would be in the movie. So it was less about like writing myself something and more about wanting to write, which that started probably like I imagine some other people in the pandemic.
Yep.
I've always loved writing. I just never felt like it was something that I would like be able to sit down at a desk and do and like produce something from it. And then with so much time on my hands, 2020 was when I first started. I took a writing class with this screenwriting teacher, Corey Mandel, that was like very helpful. I wrote a short, not the short I ended up making, but a short that sort of poured out of me. I lost my brother at the end of 2019, and that weirdly like really ripped a lot open for me.
I bet.
Shock horror, but like it also sat me down and I just like started writing about it. And that then with some help with learning how to actually write in this format, because I've read about 1 billion, bajillion, trillion scripts.
Yes.
But didn't feel like I knew how to write one, which is probably more imposter syndrome than actual like, I know I can learn how to do that. But it took getting really quiet and really sad, I guess, to start actually writing.
I bet. I'm taking a beat because I adore you so much, and I actually did not know this about your brother.
Oh, you didn't.
And so I'm like, don't start crying.
I also talk about it so flippantly.
No, please.
Because it's
no, not at all.
something that I think lived with for a long time.
But it's good to talk about it for sure. And we don't have to go down this rabbit hole by any means, but I imagine the processing of it through writing, right?
Huge.
And the grief journey of that has also been a balm to your soul to some degree.
Without a doubt. Like,
so
I
glad
didn't
to hear
even do it intentionally for that reason. And because now I have, the short I first wrote was about that, but I have since made a short that is still about our relationships, sort of less like literally than the first one was.
Yeah.
And I did not set out to do it to be some sort of like attempt to heal myself at all. And guess what? It didn't do that, hook, line, and sinker. But the experience it has provided is like, it's been really incredible.
I'm so glad to hear that. You were kind enough to send me your short that you
send, throw up.
Like, it's so deeply vulnerable. The performances are so beautiful.
Oh, shout out Esther McGregor and Lucas Frank.
Oh my God. Extraordinary.
Yeah.
The look of it.
I mean, so much of that is attributed to, we worked so closely together. And she taught me so much. My DP, Mia Trophy Henry, who, if anybody has seen Sorry Baby recently, she shot Sorry Baby as well.
I mean, and this is what I also love about making films at sort of a more grassroots level, but in Los Angeles. Bring movie making back to Los Angeles, please, dear God. The access to a DP of that caliber wants to be a part of beautiful art.
Yeah, she really does.
Period. End of story.
She's extraordinary. She also teaches cinematography at NYU, so she's like,
no big deal.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like, cool. So it's my first thing I've ever made, and a literal professor is my DP.
Exactly.
Also, just like such an incredible way of working, which I'm such a nerd. I love the prep process.
No, but that's the best.
And I'm so visual that literally it being my job to sit with another person whose whole job is to make the images we're gonna make this movie with, and talk about shots and talk about color and talk about blocking, and I was in heaven.
This is why, again, even just from like minute one of meeting you and Jesse, I was like, they are filmmakers. And exactly as you're saying, I'm so excited for you. Tell us the name of the short.
It's called For the Darkness He Carries at Night.
Yes. Again, just like the coolest, most elegant, but like intriguing, but you don't know exactly.
But probably no one will ever remember what it's called.
Well, that's why I was like, and tell us what it's called, please. It's great. Which leads me to the most fun part of this, I think, which is last looks. So, no pressure.
It makes me clammy.
I know. What's your favorite movie?
Okay, see, I'm really bad with like singular favorites.
I'm going to fill in here and vamp for 1 sec.
Do it.
Either people have their answer and are like, it's this.
Yeah.
Or most people are like, well, that's the scariest question you could ever ask a person, especially a creative person. Like, how dare you?
I have like a collection.
Yes, absolutely. Is that allowed? And it is more than allowed. Okay. And it is also like, as I say ad nauseum, we contain multitudes,
Yes.
Say Anything is my favorite movie of all time, which is why Lloyd Dobler is over my shoulder and why I named my production company after that.
Yes.
But I also want to talk to you about Working Girl and the Royal Tenenbaums and Out of Sight and Heat and The Fugitive.
Yes.
And, all of the things, and Almost Famous. So
all the posters on the wall? Or no?
Yeah.
Almost.
I know, you can't see these posters. Almost Famous is over here. The only true currency in this bankrupt world is what you share with someone else when you're uncool. And Dazed and Confused. And we contain multitudes.
Yeah,
so what are some of your favorite movies, we'll say?
Yes. Okay. So, some of them are more like artist, like inspiration, made me want to try to make things, movies that I revisit over and over again, and things that fall. That said, also I said this out loud to Abby on the car ride over when I was trying to come up with answers. It's that together with, and maybe that's very connected to the artistry part of it, films that made me feel like my human belongs in the world because there are other humans. And not even like from like a plot or character point, but from sensibility and poetry and a way of seeing the world or metabolizing the world. So two films that sort of fall in that category for me are Moonlight and I Am Love.
Ooh.
Barry Jenkins' film, and Luca Guadagnino, early Luca.
Yes.
Old school Luca, Tilda Swinton.
I'm embarrassed to admit I haven't seen I Am Love.
Most people haven't.
Yes. No, I'm really glad because this is what I want from Last Looks. Like, I will now go watch that this weekend.
Yay. It's one of those films, I think, because I've also been trying to get Abby to watch it for a long time. And every time I'm like, how about tonight? It feels like an undertaking.
Yes.
But let me promise you, the minute you hit play, it's just, if you're anything like me, you will like get swallowed into the world.
I can't wait.
It's operatic.
Oh, wow.
I just love it so much for very many reasons.
Yes.
Moonlight similarly couldn't be more different in a film, but just the way Barry made that film. Yeah, that to me, the poetry and the humanity contained within it, like, is something like I haven't felt that moved by a film in a long time.
Okay, those are amazing choices.
And then sort of more just like, movies I love that I can watch over and over again and that still feel like I want to make movies like this are Mike Mills's Beginners and Joachim Trier's The Worst Person in the World, or any Joachim Trier. I'm like, any director in the world I'd love to work with, it's him.
That movie blew the doors off.
Wait, yeah, those two. Oh, and then am I going to pretend this isn't the truth? Notting Hill.
This reminds me, what I always laugh about is that moment, that line on Friends. Matt and I always say this to each other, where it's one of the best Friends episodes ever. Are you a Friends person?
Oh, yes.
Okay, I mean, you're not an
it's
animal.
My religion. It's our household's religion growing up, actually.
Correct.
Yeah.
Thank you. This makes me so happy. We will always laugh about the trivia episode when they ultimately have to trade apartments. And basically, what does Rachel say is her favorite movie? Dangerous Liaisons. What is Rachel's actual favorite movie? Weekend at Bernie's. And that's what I always feel. So like the Notting Hill answer is also that.
It's so good.
I have a weird, not blind spot, but like I saw it once. I thought it was all right.
Wow.
That's it. How weird.
Fair.
I definitely
Not
need to
into Hugh
revisit
Grant.
it. Love Hugh Grant. I don't know what it was. Like, and I think I loved Four Weddings so much.
Yep.
Love
Actually, where do you fall on that?
Love Actually.
And you don't love Notting Hill.
Love Actually.
I mean.
No, I know. I think I just need to revisit it.
I kind of love when someone doesn't like something that is generally agreed upon as.
It's more like I was like neutral. I was like, sure. And then just never thought about it again.
I love this.
This is also,
I'm into this.
I remember talking to someone about this once. Like, I've never seen Legends of the Fall. No interest.
Neither have I. Same. No interest. Is that the one with Brad Pitt on a horse?
Yes. And Matt Smith is like, I might divorce you at this point. Like, it's the greatest movie ever made. What are you talking about? Blah, blah.
Wow.
We're going to like make the kids watch it soon. And so I will see it. But I'm like,
same.
It's just weird. Anyway. Okay. These are amazing choices. Desert Island albums. You are stranded on a deserted island.
Okay, I'm going to suck at this answer too.
Two albums with you to help maintain your sanity until you're rescued. What are they?
Okay, question. Can it be one compilation album?
Yes, and you are
that
now,
I invent.
I think you are the third person to be like, so this question kind of sucks, and it's a compilation.
It doesn't suck. I want to hear everyone else's answers because listening to whole albums of things is something that I want to practice. It would be a compilation because I would like one album of music with me on this desert island that allows me to dance. To feel things and maybe cry if I need to, and then to sort of feel like life-affirming gratitude for like how beautiful the world is. And to me, that would include Janet Jackson's Together Again, because nothing is a fail-safe will make me dance and feel so alive but that song.
Yes.
Joni Mitchell's Both Sides Now. Maybe it would be
a Love Actually.
Yes.
Oh, Emma Thompson.
One of the greatest scenes of all time.
Performance. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God, the greatest silent scene of all time.
Definitely Aretha Franklin's Don't Let Me Lose This Dream, because that is our first dance at our wedding song, and it's like so special to me.
Don't let me lose this dream.
If you don't know it, it's a little known Aretha song.
I don't know it.
And it's extraordinary.
Oh, I can't wait to listen.
think. Of course. And then honestly, shout out to Emile Mosseri, probably a number of songs from the score of Minari, because that music makes me feel
all the things.
like a human being who's part of a world.
That movie got such amazing acclaim when it came out, and Stephen Yeun's performance, and
I love that movie.
I
so
love that movie
much.
so much, and haven't revisited it, and need to. Like, that is the most beautiful human. Oh, I love that movie.
That movie.
Great choices. Oh my God.
thanks.
Oh, I love it so much. Okay, wait. Books. Because you are one of my friends who always has amazing recommendations. You are the one. You do. Do you not know this? I'm like, I wonder what Jodi's reading now. Or like, I read something recently and like my instinct was to text it to you. You told me to read Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, which, holy shit, do I love that book.
God.
And but again, just the way that you articulate your feelings. I just remember being like, I'm racing to the library to get that. And then I devoured it.
PR instead?
Exactly. Absolutely not.
Something.
So what is either your favorite book of all time or a book you're reading now that's really stayed with you and you recommend?
I can't stop recommending to people, and I'm sorry that I haven't yet to you. A book that actually I watched Abby finish on the plane back in New York with a tear running down her face, no joke, and then just like handed it to me. So I'm probably stealing what would have been her answer too. But it is a book that I believe was published in 2022 by a writer, Catherine Schultz, who is a Pulitzer Prize winner. I don't know if it was for this book or for something else, but it's nonfiction. It's a memoir. But it's also so much more than a memoir, in my opinion. It's called Lost and Found.
Okay.
And it is about loss and love, basically. She lost her father in the same year, I think, or maybe as meeting her wife. And it is so profound. She digs into a lot of research too, historical context and research about losing things and like what happens in the human psyche as we lose things, what happens when we find things, the act of discovery, connection. She also writes in a way, and I have this experience very infrequently, even though I love to read, and reading generally does this to me, but Catherine's writing in particular, I find like reorganizes my brain in a way that I seek out so much. Feels like taking 10 deep breaths when I'm reading. It's like very special, very special book.
I can't wait to read this.
Yeah.
And to weave the dog thing in just real quick here. Talk about loss. I remember me and Jesse had lunch right after you guys had lost a dog. And then right after I lost Henry, and again, just wanted to connect with people who understood loss, right, in that way. And what happens to the brain when you lose your dog, that person, they are people, you know, they're better than people. When the dog who is just with you all the time, the disorienting nature of a loss. I can't wait to read this because I'm so fascinated by psychology, and also like there are physical things that happen
without a doubt.
Yeah.
She also, it's one of the, I finished it and I was like, and I will read this once a year. Because she really addresses, like, it's also, speaking of loss, the one thing that is guaranteed. All of us are going to lose everyone and everything we love.
Oh my God.
Whether we go first or they go first.
Let me say,
it's a guarantee.
Even that Flaming Lips song, do you realize I can't listen to because that is the concept of the song. Do you realize everyone you know one day will die? And I'm like, no. It's too heavy to hold. And also, exactly, it is the only guarantee.
It's the only guarantee. And I also, like, I have a lot of anxiety.
And you've had
about
real
it.
Loss.
I have. But I also, like, from a very young age, remember, like, my parents leaving to go out for dinner for the night, like, and irrationally being completely overtaken by the fear that they were going to die.
Yes.
And I sometimes still feel that when Abby leaves the house, I'm like, I get, maybe it's my OCD, but I have to, like, say goodbye the right way. Or, like, some days are worse than others, or better than others, depending on how you reframe it, Jodi. But, like, I have tried to embrace thinking about death and loss, because I also think, I mean, is it Taoism? There is some spiritual practice that has you think about 3 people you love's deaths each day and your own when you start the day, because the idea being that, like, it fills you with gratitude and eliminates taking anyone and life for granted. And that practice, as scary as it is like Yeah, like it could change tomorrow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like I have 900 things to say in response to that, but I'm going to spare anyone listening and you, and we'll do this off camera. Wow. I can't wait to get this book. Catherine Schultz, Lost and Found.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last question. What TV are you either watching right now and loving or revisiting? Can be, rewatching The Sopranos or watching it for the first time or whatever it is. But what do you recommend?
Can you believe I've never seen The Sopranos?
You're not the first person to say that.
I know. I do need to do that. I feel like I've talked ad nauseum about how much we're obsessed with The West Wing, so I won't do that here. But no, we weirdly, late to the party, just absolutely binged The Gilded Age. All seasons.
Someone else brought this up. I still have never seen an episode.
It's so silly.
And apparently I don't know how to live my life. It's great.
And
Carrie Coon's just like unreal.
To me, it feels like pure fantasy. I'm like, it's peak escapism. There is nothing about this that resembles my experience of life. I mean, there's America and racism and those things exist. But like people are in... everyone's just sitting tea gossiping. That's the whole show, basically. But they're just talking about each other.
Okay, so it's like real life.
Yes, the stakes are so high, but they are so low. It's so fun. It's so fun. And everyone is so good in it.
Yes.
Gorgeous.
Stacked cast, exactly. So beautiful.
Yes.
And as you're saying, and this is a lot, this is how TV always was to some degree, and movies too, of course. But I find... it is like all of our therapy in between our therapy sessions at this point. My best friend Amy and I will often have days where we're like, the only thing that can help this is getting in bed and watching It's Complicated. I need a Nancy Meyer's Kitchen, and I just need the coziest, gives me enough. It's not mindless, but it's not a heavy lift either.
Yes.
And it's beautiful. Pretty People, Pretty Places is what Amy and I always call that.
I'm not actually usually that. When stuff is hard, I still go in for the hard. Let me feel the feeling. Yeah. But lately, less so.
Yes.
Wonder why.
Exactly. Nothing going on, guys.
Yeah, no, everything's so cool.
But on that note, I'm going to say thank you so much. This was
Thank you for having
even more
me.
Delightful than I thought it would be, and I knew it was going to be fucking delightful.
You're the
this
best.
Is delightful. Oh my god, I love you. Thank
love
you so
you.
much. And I
My
don't know
genuine
how
pleasure.
to end a podcast,
No,
so I'm going
we'll
to get
just
up
keep
and
singing.
give you
Okay, watch this.
Here we go. I love you. General Meeting with Becky Sloviter is hosted and executive produced by me, Becky Sloviter. Our editor is Jay Rothman. Our audio engineer is Hector Fernandez. Our director of photography is Dylan Mortensen. Our tech producer is Griffin Davis. And our theme music is by Jay Rothman. If you're enjoying this podcast, I would be so appreciative if you would subscribe or follow it or whatever the correct wording would be. All of our episodes are on video as well, so please visit our YouTube channel, if you dare, at General Meeting Pod. You can also follow us on Instagram at General Meeting Pod or TikTok at General Meeting Pod, or get more info on our website, generalmeetingpod.com. Thank you, and most importantly, go Birds.